Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our first impressions of the new album from the Agonist titled Orphans. So this album has been out for a few weeks already, but you know, it lost the poll against As I Lay Dying, which is why we didn't do it when it came out.
Right.
But we were able to find a week that was available for us to do this album because we still felt it was worth doing, not only because a lot of people requested it at the time, but all the music videos we checked out, which I think was at least 3.
Fire, fire, fire.
Exactly. It was just total flames. We loved a lot of it.
Yeah.
It was just really strong, so we were really excited to check the album out. We haven't listened to it at all. Like, this is just our genuine first impressions as first impressions go.
Yep.
So we've been staying away from this album as much as we can, and now we have our chance. So we're gonna go and listen to the album for the very first time in its entirety, and we'll be right back to give you guys our first impressions of Orphans. So stay tuned. Alright, we just listened to Orphans for the very first time in its entirety. Vile, what do you think?
Overall, first impressions, pretty damn good. I really enjoyed this album and this listening session. I do have some reserved feelings about certain things though. Most notably, a note that I kept writing was up and down. And what I meant by that is that a lot of these songs would have a lot of high energy, a lot of action, a lot of stuff going for it, and then it would tone down and you'd have this soft singing chorus. And then it'd pick back up and go crazy, and you'd have all this action and all this technicality, and then it would tone back down and you'd have this chorus. And I felt like that was too continuous of a theme through the album, and it was breaking up a little bit too much. Might not be a fair critique to say, because this band breaks up everything. Rhythmically, they are very, very, very syncopated, very disjunct, very progressive, but the style of music changing from hot to cold was a little bit much for me. It is something that I can get around though. It's not something that I think ruined the experience by any means. With that said, pretty much everything else I fucking loved, okay? Vicky's voice is phenomenal. Her range is amazing. I made a comment to Fish during the one of the songs that I wonder if she's using a pitch shifter. I've accused vocalists of doing this before, and I've gotten comments from people saying I was wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. But if she's going that fucking low, I am impressed. Because she gets really, really low with her gutturals, and
It's so rare too. It doesn't happen very often where she goes that low. There's only like 2 songs where it happens. I know one of them is the last song. No, it's the title track actually. The second
title track, Orphans, and it was like one of the first 2 tracks where she does it as well.
And about that song, I know you said like your issue with this album is too up and down, but I really only noticed that in that song. None of the other tracks on the album to me really seemed like they were too drastic of a shift between clean stuff and harsh stuff. I felt like Orphans was the only track where that was the case.
Yeah, well, I think most of the choruses were clean actually, so I don't know.
That doesn't mean they didn't have the energy.
They have energy, but it's just if you compare it to what the verses sound like, it seems like a hot and cold mix. It's not a bad thing, it just seems like something that they're rehashing this same formula, and I don't know, it felt to me like a little bit rehashed. But again, it's not really a bad thing, it's just I wish they didn't keep going to this, clean singing chorus, harsh vocals, clean singing chorus, harsh vocals. Either keep it all harsh, keep it all clean, or just do it a little less. Guitar playing. Wow. The riffs on this album are friggin' awesome. The Gift of Silence, track number 3, starts off with a sick riff that continues on through the song. Friggin' awesome. And the solo in this song is probably one of the best guitar solos I've heard in a while on any album. It is fucking sweet. And then after that, you have this bass lick part, which is just fucking badass.
It caught us both by surprise.
We love stuff like that in songs. This is one of those songs that has everything. It's a full package. The vocals are amazing. Everything's great.
Yeah, that song is my highest rated on this album for a reason.
Yeah, it's one of my highest rated too. And another one that's up there is The Killing Eye.
Same.
That song has amazing drumming. This whole album has great drumming, by the way. That song specifically stood out to me because it was so busy and intricate in its groove beat that I was just like, holy crap, this is really like sticking out to me like in the best ways possible.
Yeah, the thing he's doing
Awesome.
there, it reminds me a lot of this one part of the Dance of Eternity by Dream Theater. Like a very similar thing, going to the toms and then back to the snare while he's got the feet going.
Exactly. And I love that style, and it's amazing when drummers do that. It just adds so much thickness to the song. Vicky's voice on that song specifically, I'm still talking about the Killing Eye, by the way. Her voice on that song specifically, I felt stood out because she was doing, of course her range is there, but she was doing some really cool vibrato things with her voice that I didn't really hear or catch in other songs, so I thought that was cool. And again, another phenomenal guitar solo in this song, not quite as strong as the one in A Gift of Silence, but still very, very, very strong guitar solo, and I don't know, I was really pleased with The Killing Eye. That was a great song for me.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. That was my second favorite highest rated track there. For me, this was a really good album. Like, from beginning to end, I enjoyed it. But the only issues I had is that a bunch of songs just kind of felt okay. And the biggest culprit of that, is track number 4, Blood is My Guide.
Yeah.
It's not a bad song, I just couldn't take anything away from it. And when we went through the album, and had songs like Gift of Silence, had songs like The Killing Eye, those would kind of make those songs look even less impressive, because it's like, wow, they have these banger songs, and then there are these ones which are not bad, but they're kind of okay. So I found myself giving a lot of, 6s to songs like, yeah, it's good, but it's not exceptional.
Blood is My Guide is also the song that kind of stands out the most, but not in the best way. It has a different sound than the rest of the songs. It almost has a almost a power metal song, or maybe like a melodic death metal song, when the rest of the songs sound very progressive and have a lot of maybe new metal elements or metalcore elements to them. That one has a very different sound to it. It still has great vocal range and stuff like that though.
Yeah, I will say, like, this album has a lot of variety to it. A lot of the songs do different things. Because if you look at Mr. Cold and Dust to Dust, the riffs and grooves are really, really cool. Mr. Cold and A Devil Made Me Do It, sorry.
Mr. Cold was very all over the place. Stylistically, it was very disjunct. Like, the song's extremely syncopated. Probably the most syncopated song on the album, I would say.
Yeah, they have a lot of that throughout the entire album, but that one has like an interesting thing where they mess with your mind a little bit. Like, the syncopation's there, but it's still...
Well, that's one of the songs that goes up and down, like I said. And it's called Mr. Cold, and I've said it goes hot and cold. So I don't know if that's funny or not. You can laugh if you want to. Okay, don't laugh, never mind.
But yeah, so I felt overall it's still good. Like, I think it's like, from a first impression, this is a strong album.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that all the songs that I thought were decent would grow to become great or super duper strong.
I think that potential is definitely there, and I'm also hoping the songs that I thought were super strong don't start getting kind of boring and, repetitive or whatever.
Yeah, I think with like, when you have songs like The Gift of Silence, those are the ones that kind of just stick in your head forever. Like, it's like, the first impression of it is so great that you just are reminded of how much you enjoy it every time you hear it.
Yep.
It's one of those.
Yeah. But with that said, I'm looking forward to listening to this album all week. I think we're gonna find a lot of nice little gems hidden throughout this, because there's a lot going on. Like, there were songs where it would play for what I felt like was 5 minutes, because so much happened, and I'll check the timestamp, it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, there's still 2 minutes left. I'm like, whoa! Like, whoa, what a pleasant surprise.
Like, there's so much content, and that's what I really like about looking into albums throughout the week, is that when there's so much to look into, it's a deep album in that sense. Anyway, with that being said, that's all we got for you guys today. Remember to like the video if you liked it. Comment, tell us in the comments below what you think of this album. It's been 2 weeks since it's released, so I'm sure you've all listened to it enough.
We want to know what you think.
Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
And I'm Vile Self.
And we'll see you guys later.